just make it readable. Finally, there are some people. There are some people who don't even appreciate the fact that you have, except if you're presenting. That's when you can use color codes and all of that. But when you're writing your CV, just use the normal fonts and the normal writing system. Stop designing or whatever. Then unreadable dates, using vague formats like summer 2024. Or so I know it can't happen in Nigeria, of course, but it's always good we mention it so that the ATS can read it. And how to fix them: place all contact info on the main document, on the body of the document. I think I've done all of. Please, next slide. If I don't know if you started with us, I listed all of these things when we started. Then the anatomy of a perfect bullet point. So when you writing your CV, ensure your achievements in the company you've worked with or you're currently working with is on bullet points. Let it not just be on like a short essay. No, it won't fly. Let it be on bullet points. You could just use maximum 3 to 4 or 5 bullet points. Remember, your CV shouldn't be more than 2 pages, because I don't know what you'll be writing. So your CV shouldn't be more than 2 pages, right? Hard keywords, quantifiable metrics, and strong action verb. Now, all of these things, I have explained it in the past, but it is this is just to show you that it is very, very essential that our CV is tailored to what role we are applying for. If your CV is not tailored to it, you get rejected. You get rejected. Next slide, please. Final submission checklist. So before you submit your final documents, please read them, proofread them before you click submit. It is very, very important, because human errors can happen. Human errors. I know with AI now, we can easily go to AI, upload the job description, and tell AI to draft a CV tailored to the job description. But it is always better, before, even if the AI prepares the CV for you, review your CV. Review your CV. If you don't review your CV, if eventually you are invited for an interview, you will disgrace yourself and disgrace your family. And that's not what we want. We want you to be market ready. We want you to be market ready. So when AI prepares such, please ensure you proofread them to let it align to your own belief that I can defend this CV anywhere I go. Right? If you cannot defend your CV, there is no point even applying for the role. There is no point even drafting the CV in the first place. You must be able to defend what you have written. And once you do that, believe me, you get that role. Because what the person who is interviewing is looking out for is your culture fit. You might have the hard skill, but the culture fit is as important as the hard skill. If you've read, I've forgotten the name of the book by Warren Buffett. He said, even if you don't have that hard skill, but you have the right culture, he can employ you and teach you the hard skill. So you must be culture fit before the organization even hires you. So there are some organization that looks towards your culture fitness rather than the expertise you bring in. Because they know if you are culturally aligned to the organization, they can bring you in as an intern to learn, and they'll tell you after 1 year you increase in your position. So please, let's try as much as we can to ensure we read through our job description and our CV before we click the apply button. Next slide. I think this is the final slide. And it says the bot and the human, right? So optimization gets you past the gates. Keywords and formatting ensures your CV is ranked at the top of the database. That is what the bot will see. That is what AI would see. That's what the applicant tracking system would see before it takes you to the next stage where the human also reviews it. What the human is reviewing is the cultural fit. And it says compelling content. Compelling content wins the interview. Your achievement and clarity must resonate with the recruiter who reads it. It must correspond. Whatever you've written must correspond with what the recruiter who reads it wants to see in your CV. Because if he doesn't see it, he would also reject you. So please, when you're writing, ensure you put side by side the job description, the job responsibility requirements with your CV. Once they are tallying, then you can proceed to apply. And one key thing I didn't include here is that you must always know, you must research on the company you are applying for. Research on the company you are applying for. If you don't research the company you are applying for, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure. So it is very important that you search the company so that you can know how culturally aligned you are with the organization. You must research them to know that there's a possibility the organization wants you to work 5 days a week on site. Okay. So I would welcome any questions we want. What you need to do is to write down your questions, and when it's time, and you can give it to somebody that will be going around. We'll just get your questions, and I think when the second speaker speaks, we can just all attempt the questions once. I hope that's good. Okay. All right. So please write down your questions and let us know. Thank you so much.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that section. Okay, the person that just finished speaking to us is a global talent acquisition specialist with 8 years experience. He's currently serving as a recruitment manager at Kimberly Ryan Limited, a full service HR firm, and I'm sure you've been blessed by that section. So, I know some of us, please, Pastor Jerry, can I get the video ready? I know some of us were eager to hear the major part, which is the remote work. The remote work, you would hear it, but something is always the foundation to something. So like what you have experienced just now is like a foundation, a solid foundation. And the next section we're going to be having, we talked about the remote job, but I don't want to believe 1 or 2% does not have a question. So put the question in a small piece of paper. A basket is going around. And if you are online, please put your question on the chat board. Somebody is also collating it so that we can have everything put together to allow Mr. Mitchell to respond to it before we go fully into the remote section. So for the next few minutes, I would love to play a video for us to have a better understanding. Proud to my guests. The next facilitator will be speaking basically on the remote jobs, the how and where and what.
Wants every role that makes money. brings clients for global businesses would always be in demand. That question is your masterclass. I'm trying to see how I can
company.
You count the number of persons in your church without your pastor asking. Count the number of persons in your church, analyze the data in a month, and tell your pastor, these are the number of persons who came to my church, who came to this church this month. We want to compare them with the number of persons that will come to the church next month, so that we can see if there is a growth or decrease in this church. That is experience. This is just volunteer, right? So you volunteer. When you volunteer, you are gaining experience. You might see it as nothing, but it is being recorded for you, and you can use that to apply. When they see the impact you're giving to your church when you are not paid, how much more will they ask themselves, what impact are you giving? What impact would you bring to the organization when you are now paid.
Okay.
So please, you can intern and also volunteer.
Okay, as an HR expert, what is the best online platform for recruitment, or what is the best form of recruitment?
Okay. So it's basically know your words. Like, be professional in one thing. Know that you just have one thing to be successful at. If you are good in music, stick to music. Stick to music. If you're good with maths, I saw the preacher who, when I came in, he was talking about not being good in maths, but he got A1 in his WAEC. It shows he's good. You can teach maths to people. Stick to that expertise or to that thing you know very well, and that is what gives you access to anything you have in life, to anything you want in life. Thank you.
Okay, so I have one question here. Can a CV be 3 pages? So meaning, is it necessary that my CV has to be 2 pages? Can it exceed 2 pages?
So it can exceed 2 pages, right? But how many years of experience do you have that it want to exceed 2 pages? Right? How many years of experience? If you have 15, 20 years of experience, it can be 3 pages. But if you have 5 years experience, what are you writing? What are you writing? That's why it is good to use bullet points. Bullet points to just list your achievements. And that's it. Maximum 2 pages. There are some organizations, if you don't, let me tell you, there are some organizations that will tell you, we just need 1 page of CV. If it goes more than 1 page.
All right, so 3 pages CV. That means you are a professor. Also, please, can you explain what you meant by culture fit with example?
So culture fit with example, let me just be practical, is that 1, you want a remote work and they are telling you you must come on site, or you want a remote work and they are telling you you must do hybrid, that's work on site and also maybe 3 days on site. That's, you are not culturally fit. Also, the company wants you to resume by 8 o'clock. You are telling the company, no, it's 9 o'clock. You are not culturally fit. You are not culturally aligned to the organization. The company wants you to dress corporately, but you are telling the company, no, in my previous organization, I use casual smarts. You are not culturally aligned. You get? So, and all of these little details matters a lot to the organization. Sorry, let me give you, you said with example. So, we were recruiting for a bank, for a microfinance bank, who has been in the game for over 6 years. And the candidates were interviewed, they were good, interviewed, and they came. They joined the organization. And after 2 weeks, they were sacked. 2 of them, together, they were sacked from different homes. They were sacked. Why? Because they were not dressing the parts the company wants them to dress. They thought, when you say corporate, you put on a tie, you put on a long sleeve shirt, right? And a plain trouser. You must put on a tie. You don't just put on a blazer, the trouser, and a shirt. That's not corporate. You must put on that long tie, not bow tie, long tie. That's what corporate means. And these people were just putting on maybe blazer, shirt without a tie. They were sacked because they now knew that these people are not cultural. In fact, recently somebody was interviewed and was taken to the next stage. Why was that person taken to the next stage? Because when he came for the interview, the dressing alone sold him out. Sold him to the organization. They were like, this is one of the person that has attended an interview dressed as corporate as we can think of. So those little things you don't see as good, or you take them as common, matters a lot to the organization. Thank you.
IT experts. Them they get that issue more. IT expert know they want dress corporate too. As an undergraduate, want to go into HR, what are the basics and important things to know? Then how can I tailor my CV for jobs that contrary to my course of study?
So my, so I oversee about 5 persons. I manage over 5 persons. I think one of them read account. Okay, let me just tell you their courses. One is an accountant. He read accounting. He's an HR professional. The other read biochemistry. He's an HR professional. I think these are the 2 I know that I was surprised. This is what they read in school, but they are all HR professionals. So why did they change? When they went to it, and one, they are in Nigeria. So let's leave that factor. They are in Nigeria. 2, when they went for NYC, they told them, look, this is your course you read. If you are not too good at it, come and do some certifications. Come and do some courses that would help you achieve success in this choosing field of study. Right? So what they did, they started buying courses to read. So I would advise you, go to Udemy. You see crash courses, cheap courses on HR and various subjects. Buy them. You can see as low as 3,000 naira for a lifetime access. You can see as low as, this is Easter is coming. There's a promo. I know there's a promo currently on Udemy. Go to Udemy. Buy courses on data analysis, 2,500. I did. When I bought, mine was 7,500 or 7,000, I can't recall, on data analysis. I'm an HR person, but I want to know more about data analysis, Excel and Python. So I bought courses there. At least basic knowledge is enough for me. Not that I want expert knowledge, but basic. So whatever you have interest in, buy courses on, do certification courses, and you'll be surprised how impactful that certification course will be in your job search and also in your career path. Thank you.
All right, this last person seems to have is an examiner from the look of thing. Okay, but I think one of the questions has been answered. If I want to change from one job function to the other, like he said, get knowledge in the next desired career. Some job descriptions do not have major technical skills for some roles. Is it okay to tailor my CV to just the basic skills in the JD, or could I can't read this, skill technical, I know for the role. Okay, so I think the basic question is some job requirement and are not specified. So is it supposed to submit the CV they have, or should they tailor?
See, for every job description, there must be requirements. For every job description, there must be requirements. There must be responsibilities, because they will tell you what you're supposed to be doing in the job. And there must be requirements. Those requirements would help them know if you'll be successful. So you must have these requirements. So the best thing, you must have done these jobs or those jobs before. So you tailor your CV according to the job description, to the responsibility. So job description can be so much. You get, if you read a job description from UN, the job description in UN, if you copy it and paste it on Word document, it can be up to 2 pages or 3 pages. I'm telling you the truth. Because they'll tell you everything they want you to know about UN or about that project or program. Then they now just go to the responsibilities. Go to the responsibilities and the requirements. These are where you want to actually focus on, not the other things they wrote. The requirement is a must for them. Then the responsibilities must tally with your current experience. If it doesn't tally, please don't apply. Don't just apply, because you waste your time and even waste the time of the ATS if it has any.
Okay, so I think this person can still see us for few clarifications. The last question was addressed here on stage. Should I add my professional summary in my CV? If the person probably came in earlier, I think that was addressed. He addressed it in two folds. So just let's see so that we don't take so much time. There are other angles we need to attend to. Mr. Mitchell, thank you. So do I have the presentation for the next person? So we can do better if we are celebrating him. Okay, this next person I want to call, I always use the one, is a young person, even though he's actually a young person. Don't mind me, I can be funny. So, Joseph Ajayi is a card operations manager with Money Points UK. So if somebody is working in UK and is here to speak to you, that is an example of what remote job means. And a fintech professional with almost a decade of experience in card payment, cross-border remittance and digital asset operations. He has worked across partner support, technical support and customer experience role with Honorific, Deals and UBA, focusing on improving payment workflow, API integration and operational efficiency. He holds a degree in business administration. So I think that talks more to what Mitchell just addressed. It does not matter what course you actually study. If you have your intentionality about what you want to do, you could actually. So a business administrator, don't let me talk, not my business. Okay, so he studied business administration, certification in AI and data analytics, and is passionate about building scalable and reliable payment system, and currently serves as